I'm with Stuart Newton, who's VP of Corporate Strategy at IneoQuest, which is one of the leading providers of video analytics for TV operators and content providers. Stuart, how well placed are content providers and TV operators to make sense of the data available to them to improve the quality of experience for their users?
If they own the video head end, then they will be collecting video analytics from the video head end. One of the most important things to do is to make sure that the video coming out of the video head end before it's sent off to the CDN provider, whether it's the same company or a third-party CDN provider, is good. And one of the reasons for doing that is that you need to stop the finger pointing. There's an awful lot of finger pointing going on in the industry today, and the content providers need to completely understand that the video that's coming out of their adaptive head end is good, and that the content provider can't point the finger of blame back upstream unless it's a genuine valid thing to do. At the other end of the scale, a lot of the content providers, they could be service providers as well, are collecting the client analytics. It's really important that those analytics are available in a very open way to the content providers and the service providers, so they can slice and dice the data in whatever way they need to do to be able to, one, do the best customer experience management they can, but two, correlate that data with what's going on upstream. And that's one of the areas that we specialize in, is that correlation.
Now there's a move at the moment to new video formats like HEVC and also the use of adaptive bitrate coding. What needs to be done to ensure that the migration towards those goes smoothly?
So there are a few things affecting encoding technologies at this point in time. The first one is to move to HEVC for either moving to Ultra HD or for squeezing more down the same pipe. Like you can use HEVC for HD, and you can get much more compression on the data and get more channels down the same pipes. The second thing is to move to adaptive streaming. A lot of these transcoders now have to produce multi-bitrate streams, and all of those streams need to be perfectly aligned so they don't cause issues downstream. The third one is to move to virtualization. So HEVC is just one element of what's affecting the video head ends at this point in time. With the adaptive streaming and the virtualization, there's a whole new evaluation of encoders going on in the market, but there's also a new evaluation of test tools for encoding and transcoding. And one of the new solutions we've announced this year is a product called Inspector Lab, and that is a new content inspection tool that can be used in the labs for doing encoder bake-offs, testing, comparing the streams from different encoders, or for seeing how the quality is affected when you squeeze the number of bits down. So the more compression, you can test whether, if you're doing more compression, whether it actually affects the quality of the video. So you don't want to be sending video down a CDN, out through a CDN and wasting bits because you're not compressing it as much as you could do. So we're providing new capabilities that allow that. But the lab version of Inspector is also a sister product of our 24/7 live version of Inspector, which is sitting out in all these networks and allows you to collect issues on the fly using trigger capture, and then bring those back into the lab and then use the lab tool to be able to do a deep diagnosis of what happened.
And what other solutions is IneoQuest highlighting here at the show to tackle some of these challenges?
Everything we're showing here today in the demonstrations is running virtualized for the start. So we're following through on the announcement we made this year, and we can actually talk about the virtualized solutions that we have here today. One of the key things that we're doing that's getting a great response is we're showing a correlation between the management of the head end and the network analytics with the client analytics. So we can do, we're starting to show advanced impact analysis. So if an error comes in, if an alarm goes off within the network infrastructure or the head end, and the alarm comes in, the management system can dip into the client analytics system and determine how many people are watching this and what the impact was on that viewership because of that alarm. And that's brand new. That's something that we don't believe anyone's done before in the industry. It's very, very effective, and it allows a direct correlation from that data up into billing systems potentially for looking at were VIP customers or were high revenue customers affected. So virtualization, the end-to-end correlation of the video analytics is very powerful, and the Inspector Lab product for advanced analysis of encoders at the head end.